I focus my lens and adjust the aperture. My mind is racing with questions so soon to be answered. I hit record and step back from my camera. My name is Sara Van Trieste. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I'm now producing a documentary on an amazing man named Dennis. He has hit rock bottom and climbed right back up. It is in his stories that I find hope. Hope for him, hope for anyone struggling to find themselves, and hope for me. I hear honesty in his conversation and watch his eyes sparkle as they speak it. I see that he has accepted his wrongs, and he has used them to make rights. He is now brilliant due to his earlier stupidity. He was never wrong, only learning. I believe that everyone deserves to tell their story to the world. We are all so very different that in watching these documentaries, I would like to provoke acceptance in the viewers. However, with 7 billion people in the world, I am constantly struggling to decide who I believe truly deserves a spotlight. I met a man, Ian. He had been coming around my house to clean up my front stoop in exchange for a few dollars or some food. At first, I thought he was very friendly. After chatting with him a few times, I had mentioned my desire to make him a documentary. He seemed quite excited. He started coming around more and more often. As he grew more comfortable with me, our relationship changed immensely. Instead of just accepting what I had to offer, he began to demand more and more out of me. Soon he was coming to me asking for $5, for $10, and if I was not able to supply that money, Ian showed signs of anger and frustration. His stories became more and more open, and I learned he had always lived a life of violent crime. Although he says he has changed his ways, I see anger boiling behind his eyes. He began to act sexually attracted to me, and this is where I drew the line. I no longer wanted to spend time with Ian. I knew he was not respectful of me, and I grew wary. I was avoiding his calls, and I would have my roommates answer the door any time he knocked. After working with a man like Dennis, who is extremely supportive and kind, the idea of working with a man who is demanding and crude allowed me to step back. I realized that although everyone deserves to tell a story, not everyone deserves my time. I believe the intentions of my subjects should always be kind. Dennis did not want a documentary for the spotlight. He wanted to spread awareness and hope, whereas Ian wanted the power. When I saw Ian again, he asked me when I wanted to start making this documentary. I knew I had to be honest with him. I told him I no longer wanted to make the documentary. I expressed my uneasy feelings toward him, and he seemed to shrink away. I felt bad, but I felt worse spreading the ideas of someone whose morals conflicted with mine. I focus my lens, and I adjust the aperture. My mind is racing with questions so soon to be answered. I hit record and step back from my camera. I listen, I learn, and I smile. I know I'm making a difference.